guys, you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Eva Rosie. In today's video, I'm gonna share with you guys how to make a corset blouse with cuffs. So if you're new here, you're welcome. Yes, I welcome each and every one of you. You are seeing me for the first time. Thank you for coming around, and I wouldn't want you to leave without hitting on that subscribe button. And to all the returnees, I want to say thank you guys for always supporting me on this channel. You guys has been so amazing. Thank you so very much. And as you can see, the corset blouse that I made, I want to tell you guys, this is my corset blouse. I hope you heard that. So I want to give you this assurance. If you can pay attention to details of this tutorial, I want to assure you, you're gonna make your first corset blouse and it will come out perfect. Yes, I will say that again, it's gonna come out perfect. So pay attention to details and watch this video from the beginning to the end, and I hope you come back with a good testimony. Hope you can see my outfit. If you love my outfit, leave a comment in the comment section. I might share with you guys how I achieved this. So without further ado, let's get started. So I'm going to start using the basic bodies for this. So to find out how to make your basic bodies, check the link in my description box. You'll find out how to make the basic bodies, both the front and back panel. So it's a beginner's course, so I'm going to be making use of the back panel as well as the front panel. Because of the style of the outfit we are going to be making, we are going to be needing a strapless push-up bra that has underwire. So get a push-up bra that has underwire, wear it and feel very comfortable in it. Make sure it's your accurate bust measurement. When you get the bra, wear it, use the same measurement to draft your basic bodies. Then I'm just showing you what you're gonna be needing, or the kind of bra that you will need. Though this one has is not strapless, but the other one is strapless. That is the way the top side of the bra should be looking. So but if you don't have the one that is strapless, you can just trim it off the way I am doing right now. Just trim it off and make it smooth. Then you have to remove the underwire, remove all the sides and take out the cup. So because we are going to be using the cup as well as the underwire, and make sure you don't alter with the original finishing line of the cup. So find the apex point of this cup bra, and when you find the apex point, you take the measurement from that apex point down to your under bust. That is where you have the underwire. Then place the same measurement from the apex point of your pattern paper and mark your under bust, as you can see. So when you mark your under bust, you square a line across. Using this method, you're not going to have so much issues. Even if you have little issues while making your corset, it's not going to be so much, because you're using your original bra cup size. You're not going to have issues with the corset blouse. So I'm going to draw the dot line down, and I will mark 1 inch below the bust point and 1 inch above the bust point, and I will extend the line. So as you can see from the center point, I already inserted my bust point measurement. That is from one nipple to the other. So I got this from that same bra cup. So the same measurement I added for the under bust is what I used to determine the one nipple to the other. So at the under bust measurement, I'm going to go in the more by half an inch. I will exceed the original dart to contour the under bust line. So at the above the bust line, I'm going to insert what the same measurement I inserted at the under bust measurement. That is 3.5 inch. I will make my mark, extend the line, and I will square a line across. So now let's insert the depth of the neck from that center front line. So I'm going to mark half an inch, and the depth of the neck I am going to mark 2 inches, and I'm going to draw out the line. On this apex point line, I'm going to extend the line towards the center front line, because we are still going to contour the the bust area of the center front, and I'm going to connect my under bust 1 inch before the apex point. And I'm going to repeat the same thing on the opposite side. Coming to the upper bust area, we are going to tighten it by going in by 7.5 inches towards the right, and towards the center front I'm going to take out half an inch, and I will connect it down to 1 inch before the apex point line. Next is to connect the other side of the cup towards the depth of the neck by using our curve ruler, as you can see. So on this apex point line that connected towards the center front, I'm going to take away 3/8 of an inch on both sides of that line, and I'm going to connect 1 inch before the apex point. So I'm going to close that and when I close it, I'm going to redraw the cup of that area by connecting it from the depth of the neck down to the under bust measurement. So by the time I fold this off, you will discover the line has shifted. That's why I had to use my pencil to draw it initially. So now I am going to redraw it because I closed the dart. And after doing this, we have to redraw the center front line of this pattern. So you can see this original center front line will be shifted as well. So we have to redraw it by placing our ruler and make another connection. So while trying to cut off that center panel, so we have to close that area and cut out the final pattern, as you can see. So to connect the other side of the cup towards the right, so I'm going to insert the same measurement I used for the under bust or towards the center front, which is 3.5 inch, and I'm going to exceed that 3.5 inch by inserting 1 inch more because the side of the boob is always bigger than what we have at the front. So I am going to close the dart and make my connection towards the under bust area. So I used 4.5 inch towards this part, while the other side is 3.5 inch. towards this upper bust line, I'm going to connect this side of the bust towards the armhole area, that is before the armhole. So from the side seam of the armhole area, I'm going to come in at least by 2 inches to connect the cup from the vanishing line. So for the design you have on top of the cup area, so I'm going to mark 2 inches. And I will make my connection. When you are trying to make yours to form that design, if yours exceeded the dart area, please close that vanishing line before you connect yours. So don't be afraid to close it and connect. So as you can see, the center front line is not enough for me to create that design, so I'm going to close it permanently and make my connection. So measure from the depth of the neck down and make your connection. So I'm going to mark the 2 inches now. I'm going to extend the underbust dart, as you can see. So when you close the vanishing line, please ensure to reconnect the side seam of your outfit, of your pattern. It's very important you do this, so you will have the accurate measurements. So now we are going to start tracing up the pieces of the pattern one after the other. So I'll first of all trace the side panel, making sure that I close that vanishing line. After this, I will trace the center front panel. As you can see, the vanishing lines remained closed. Please take note of this. So for the cup areas, I'm going to close all the vanishing lines. I'm going to close all of them before my final cutting. Now that we've cut out the cup, so for the top part of the cup, if you wish to have the top part separated as a design on its own, is optional. Then you can trace it this way, making sure you close that you bring them together and trace them out so that you can use it for the top part of your cup. Please ensure to keep the two of them closed. After tracing them off, just draw out the line and cut them out. So this is what you're gonna have at the end of the day. Now let's move over to the back panel drafting. So for the back panel, I'm going to take the side seam of the front panel and merge it with the side seam of the back panel to make sure the both lengths are equal, as you can see. So if they are not equal, I have to do something about it, but since they are equal, so I'm going to leave it that way. So I'm going to insert the depth of my neck. So you decide how deep you want your neck to be. So I'm going to go down by 8 inches more and connect towards the armhole. So the upper part is not useful anymore, as you can see. So I'm going to cut off the excesses. So towards the center of the back panel, I'm going to remove ½ inch in order to make the back of the outfit lay flat on my back. And I'm going to insert 1 inch zipper allowance. It depends on what you want. If you want zipper or if you want the overlapping that you can tie with rope, all you need to do is just to remove 1½ inch from the basic bodies of the back panel and add 3 inches on each side, so that when you overlap each of it on each other, then you can use your rope to tie it. But I'm not going to be doing that on this tutorial. That will be for another tutorial. So I'm just adding the zipper allowance. Then I will close my dart and cut off the excesses. So this is what your back should be looking like at the end of the day. So you have 2 pieces of each of these panels, except the center front panel that will be on fold while making your final cutting. Once you are done with your pattern piece, make sure you add your seam allowance on all the panels. Then you start laying them on your fashion piece as well as the lining. So take each of the panel and place it. As you can see, I have underlay pressed on this fabric already to harden the fabric. So make sure you place it the way you are supposed to do, so you don't misplace them. So as you can see, I took one and placed underneath and the other one was on top while cutting out the fabric. So by the time you bring the two of them together, the right side will be facing each other. That's how it should be done. So you have to be careful so you don't misplace the panels. Hope you can see that. I'm going to repeat that for the top part of the cup. as well as the bodies of the corset. So I'm going to cut the lining and everything together, but I'm going to sew the linings together and sew the fashion fabric separately. So place the right sides facing each other and run your stitch as you have them on your pattern paper. Repeat the same thing on the lining fabric. Join the two cups as well. Because the top part of this cup should be on double, so I'm still going to cut 2 pieces more. So when your fashion pieces are ready, take your cup, that is your bra cup, then rip off everything on it. Remove the cup. Don't alter the original finishing line of the cup. Remove the underwire because we're still going to make use of that. Remove them carefully. Loosen everything and take out the cup. So when you take out the cup, then take one piece of the top part of the cup, that is the fashion piece, and join it to the cup, because one will go to the lining and the other one will go to the front, that is the top part of your outfit. It is very important you don't alter the original finishing line of the bra cup that you are working with. So let's join the cup and I will be back and show you how it should be well fitted on the bra cup. So even if after joining it and you discover you have some excesses that is not well fitted, so the reason why you are using this bra cup is to have a perfect fit. So if the fabric that you joined didn't fit in, just adjust it as much as you can to fit into the cup very well. So after joining your fabric, this is what you should have at the end of the day. So you can see how it should be well fitted into the bra cup. Make sure everything is nicely fitted, as you can see. So for the boning channels, create whatever design that you would love to have on the outfit, then run your stitch on them and pass your boning through them. So you can just decide whatever you want. So this is how I want mine to be. So as you can see, I used my bias strips to place on them. So I'm going to run a stitch on each of the lines, as you can see, and after that I'm going to join the cup to the bodies of the outfit. Please ensure that the dot lines are on the same point with the dot line of the cup. So take note of this, it must be on the same point. So if you wish to have your bias strip on top of your cup, you can do that, but if you don't want, you can just put it underneath under the bust area, as you can see. So after sewing it between the bodice and under the bust area, then you pass your under wire through it. So you're gonna see how I'm going to run my stitch when we get to the machine. And after that, you will just take your lining and place on top of it, making sure that you've joined your back panel together and run everything together. Please, while creating the channels for your boning, ensure you use the same measurement of your bias strips as you have it for your boning. So take note of this. They must be of the same measurement so that when you want to pass it through, it won't be difficult for you to get it through the channel. And while trying to pass the boning through, ensure to leave at least 1/4 inch both on the top side and below, so that when you want to run your stitch for the bust cup area, it won't get to the boning area. So take note of this. So as you can see, I'm joining the cup to the bodice. So this is something you have to do carefully. Even if you didn't get it right the first time, try it again. Just do it gently. You will get it right. So make sure you use pin. The pins will help you and guide you while running your stitch, so that everything will stay in one place. So after that, you repeat the same thing on the other cup. So in order to create a channel for the underwire that will be under the bust area, so I'm going to run a stitch that will make a connection with the bias strip on the bust cup area as well as the body. So these two lines are going to connect this bust cup as well as the down part of the bodice of the outfit. So after running this stitch, you will see that I will be able to pass the underwire through it to grip the cup area of the outfit, and I will repeat the same thing on the other side. So as you can see, it is a little bit hard for me to pass the wire through because I didn't want to use a strip that is very bold. I want mine to be tiny, so I had to reduce it to, it's not even up to 1/2 inch. As you can see, the bias strips are very tiny and they look more beautiful than the bold ones. So you can decide to do it the same way. So I'm going to repeat what I just did on the other side. So after that, I'm going to use my lining and place the right sides together. If you don't want to use your lining to turn it, you just place the wrong sides together, then use your bias strip to run a stitch on top of your bust area, getting towards the back panel. So it depends on your preference on how you want it. So but if you don't want to have it that way, so you use your lining to turn the top part of the bust area. So as you can see, it's very simple to make. It's just all about paying attention to details. Watch this video very well. I promise you, you will make your first corset blouse and it will come out perfect. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new on this channel, and keep supporting, keep sharing my videos. Thank you guys for all your support. I appreciate you all. So as you can see, our corset is like almost ready. So after doing this, you can now insert your bonings where they're supposed to be before you now close the down part of the outfit with your lining or with your bias strips. It depends on what you're working with. So now I'm going to join the lining from the top part of the core of the corset. Then after doing this, I will have to turn it inside out and give it a good press. Sometimes when you turn it, you will find it difficult for it to relax. So make sure you top stitch. Ensure you top stitch is very, very important. So after top stitching, you can decide to use like a silicone glue to hold the facing down so that it will be stable towards the back of your outfit. So now I'm going to give it a good press. And this is the result of our outfit. This is the back side of the outfit. As you can see, it's also looking beautiful. And that will be all for today. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. And I hope to see you guys soon.